For 5 years, my boss stole my work and I let him. I spent 5 years building someone else's reputation. 5 years of early mornings and late nights and weekends I gave away without thinking because I believed that hard work was something people noticed. I believed that if you put enough of yourself into something, eventually the right people would see it and know it was yours. I was wrong. His name was Gerald, and he had the kind of confidence that fills a room before a person even walks into it. The kind of man who speaks slowly because he has never once doubted that everyone around him will wait. He was my direct manager from my very first week at the company, and I genuinely admired him in the beginning. He seemed sharp, experienced, the kind of professional I wanted to become someday. So when he started asking me to send him my reports before meetings, I thought nothing of it. When he asked me to draft his presentations, I told myself it was just part of learning. When he started taking my analysis into board meetings and coming out the other side with praise I never heard, I convinced myself my turn was coming. It never came. For 5 years, Gerald stood in boardrooms and on conference calls, and in hallways outside executive offices, and spoke my words in his voice, and collected my results with his name. The campaign strategy that saved our biggest client account, mine. The restructuring proposal that earned our department a budget increase, mine. The quarterly reports that made our team look like the most productive division in the entire company, every single one of them mine. And every single time someone congratulated Gerald in front of me, I would smile, because I did not know what else to do with the specific kind of exhaustion that comes from being invisible inside your own work. I started documenting everything in the fourth year, quietly. Every email, every draft, every timestamp, every message where Gerald asked me to build something, and every announcement where he presented it as his own. I kept it all in a folder on my personal laptop, and I did not tell anyone because I was not ready yet. I was waiting for the right moment. The right moment came on a Friday afternoon in March, when Gerald walked into a meeting with the company's new regional directors and presented a full market expansion strategy I had spent 6 weeks building. I watched him answer questions about it. I watched him explain decisions I had made for reasons he did not fully understand. I watched him accept a standing ovation from a room full of people who had no idea I existed. I resigned the following Monday morning. I sent my letter directly to HR and to Gerald's manager, and I attached the folder, every document, every timestamp, every email trail going back 4.5 years. Gerald called me into his office before lunch. I had expected anger. I had expected threats or bargaining or the kind of corporate language designed to make you feel small. What I had not expected was what actually happened. He sat across from me, and for the first time in 5 years, Gerald had nothing to say. The confidence that always filled the room before he walked into it was completely gone. He looked at his desk. He looked at his hands. He opened his mouth twice and closed it both times. Finally, he looked at me and said, "I did not think you would ever actually leave." I smiled at him the same way I had smiled for 5 years. Then I stood up, picked up my bag, and walked out of his office for the very last time.